Greetings, John Tiller Software Modern Air Power Players to my War over Vietnam series video 2. In my first video I presented a scratchy overview of War over Vietnam, which may have left more questions than answers, particularly if you're like me and you're more of a ground dweller in the digital battlefield. As you would all appreciate, if you're going to play this style of game, you need to have a reasonable understanding of the capabilities of your own equipment and those of the opposition. So in this video, I plan to build a test range where we can test the capabilities of different pieces of equipment. And of course we'll be using the Scenario Editor to do this. So let's find a suitable spot on the map. We'll go into North Vietnam and we'll use Nam Dinh. So the first thing we may like to add to our map is a target. So we go Map, Add Target to Map. Name, Factory 01, Industry, that'll do. At this stage we won't put any AAA in, we'll just go with the SA2 testing at the moment. So it'll be a North Vietnamese side. We could make it a hard target if we like, but we'll just leave it at this stage. So that's all we need. Press OK. Oops, where's our... Alright, so the factory's here in the ocean. So, to move the factory to a more suitable location, we hold down Control and right mouse button. Right, so there's a lesson for you. So we'll now highlight an area here to the north of Nam Dinh. We'll go Map, Add Missile Sites to Map. So we'll call this SA201. Select SA2B. Number of missiles, we're going to give him 25. North Vietnamese, and once again AAA will be none because it's mainly an SA2 test. Okay, now we'll add a second site because I want to have 50 missiles. So map, add missile sites to map, SA202. Okay, 25, North Vietnamese, da da da. Okay, so we'll also need to add a radar site to the map. Okay, before we do that we'll select a location I'll just put it behind the factory here. Map. Add radar site to map. Radar 01. North Vietnamese. Range. We'll say 25 nautical miles. That's all we need. And then we'll add a command node. Map. Add command node to map. SA2 command. North Vietnamese, no AAA. Links. Okay, we'll add missile sites. Okay, so you have to add them individually as far as I know. Okay, so there's our 2 missile sites. Okay, so there we go. So we should go. Now I missed out on adding the radar in, so we need to go map, view command nodes. So I can see this one. We say modify, and then we need to go add a radar site. Okay. Okay, so there we go. So there's we have a target. We have our 2 SA2 batteries consisting of 25 missiles each, which is 50. So the reason being is the SA2 has a hit probability of 0.02, so that's 1 in 50 or 2 in 100. And so we'll just see how that works out. And of course the radar will tell them that our planes are coming. So all we're left to do now is to add in our aircraft. So what I thought we'd have a look at today is something back from 65, an A1H, which is the Sky Radar. So we select that on the map and then right mouse button, and so there he is. So we can then go Alt and point him in the direction we want to go. So we want to make this a flight. At the moment it is 1 aircraft, so we want to make this a flight of 4 aircraft. So we go is it scenario? No, it's command, increase aircraft. Right, so now we have a flight of 4 aircraft. So the next thing to do is we'll give them a mission. We'll go shift, right mouse button, attack. So it's going to take them 6 minutes 40 to get to the factory and drop their bombs, and then we'll give them an egress route, shift, fly to. So there we go. So that's all we need to do to test out our SA2s. Obviously we could complicate issues by putting the AAA in and those sorts of things, but at this stage of the war, I understand from reading some of the documentation, is that it was AAA that was the big killer of aircraft. And in fairness to the SA2, their primary aim really was to get the attacking aircraft to jettison their bombs and drop tanks, etc., and avoid the missile, which by the odds seems to be a good probability of your aircraft missing. So all we need to do now is go File, Save. Now I'm going to call my scenario here 0001 underscore test range SA2. Save. and that's it. So everything looks pretty right. The missiles have 25 each. They're all linked to a radar. When we click the radar, you can see we're just inside. Our A1E has its route in and out. Nothing fancy there either, just straight in, straight out. So we obviously need to exit from the scenario editor and then open up our game. So we go to the main program, open, and there we go at the top, because we use the 0001 prefix. It's at the top of our pile. Okay, so we'll put the North Vietnamese on automatic rather than automatic with fog of war, because this is obviously our test bed, so we want to see what they're doing, etc. Okay, we zoom in, and so there's Nam Dinh with our test range. So there's our aircraft out here. You see he's going 180 knots. And auto fire, etc. So really there's not much. We have, this is our ordnance, and you can change the ordnance and you can change the loadout, but it's not the loadout really we're testing at the moment, it's just the performance of the SA2. So there's nothing for it but to hit time acceleration. So there we go, first lot in, miss, so that's 6 fired, 9 fired, okay, when this guy runs out, so that's 0 from 25 plus. So from 50, 0 hits. Now it depends how you like to play this. You may have a rule that when you're fired on by SA2s, that the attacking aircraft jettison their bombs and their fuel tanks, etc. Or you can just keep ploughing through. It just depends how close to the rules you particularly want to get. It's also a chance to see what damage the ordnance does to various targets as well on the test site, so you can do whatever you like to become familiar with all these different factors. So we'll go back to 0, so we can go load. No, we don't. Test range 02, we could do it again just for the hell of it, so I'll go OK. Same thing. Okay, so let's crack on. We'll hit 10 by. Actually, we'll just hit 6 by for a start. Select our plane. We'll put him up to 300. So we got him going at mil speed. You would think that would make it harder to hit. Rightio. So from our testing here with a slow aircraft, relatively, the Skyraider at 300 knots, I think you can say the SA2 is a reasonably low probability. So if you're like me and you have really no idea of the performance of the various factors in the game, consider setting up a test range and doing some tests. I think you'll find it a bit of fun, and it'll mean you'll be able to make a better mission down the track. So I hope you enjoyed this short presentation, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.